Part 3, final part. Eventually my dad did come around. He started to understand how I saw the world, and before he passed, we definitely got that out of the way. And the thing is, when I do things like this, it's because I read something that got me upset. And it got me so upset that I can't even smile because I'm so goddamn mad that now the smile is really, really anger. And the thing was, it should never take a man that long to come around. But in my defense, my dad was old school, And then, when it comes down to shit, like, this is a very sensitive topic, you know. And people don't sit at their families and plan out, what happens if my daughter gets raped. We don't do that. Nobody really does that. And they probably should, but they don't. We don't plan on what could happen if, like, my son goes to jail for doing something stupid. We don't plan on what could happen if my daughter or son commit crimes or do dumb things, because we don't believe that our kids can do anything wrong. That's mistake number one. Don't ever think for a New York minute that your kid can never do something wrong. That is quite possibly the worst thing that can ever come out of your thought process. My child's a saint. My child's innocent. Half you people who believe that, your child's the one that's been bullying kids like me in school all our life. Because how you kid act at home, it's a whole different kid when they're at school. You don't have to believe that shit, and it's fine. It's fine. But you will find out. You will find out the easy way or the hard way on how and who your kid is. Because you can raise them right all you want. But their influences, their friends, and now these things, you don't know what the fuck your kid's doing when you're not watching. You really don't. But I do know this, for the most part, at least in America, depending on where you are in America, there shouldn't be any 10-year-olds or 11-year-olds or 12-year-old kids having sex. There shouldn't be. Now, granted, there are some hot girls that are hot in the ass and move pretty fast and give it up before they should. That kind of thing does happen. But at that same time, you have to be fully aware of what's going on in your kid's head. You have to be. And if you're not, then you probably weren't paying attention. You might have been too wrapped up in your life, and I get it. It happens. But again, you need to be fully aware of what's going on. And again, like I said, most 10-year-old kids are playing with Barbie dolls or stuff like that. Nowadays, they're probably playing with, like, these things or whatever. And if your little girl's a gamer, then you and her can be gaming all weekend long, and it can happen. But you have to understand, you have to take this shit into concept, rape does happen. And when it does, you need to be ready for it. And you can't just say, oh, well, my daughter was wearing a skort shirt. My daughter was wearing promiscuous clothing. Your daughter can wear whatever the fuck she wants. She can't walk out the house in underwear because you're going to notice that. But she can wear whatever the hell she wants. And you have to accept that. As a man, it's going to be a little bit difficult. But you will have to accept it, because sooner or later your daughter's going to have sex. And sooner or later your daughter's going to be a mother, making you a grandfather. You're going to have to accept that shit. Whether you like it or not, you're going to have to accept it. But you need to prepare yourself. Because especially if your daughter is super beautiful, not just to you but to other people, people may try to take advantage of that. People may try to harm her. And you need to be prepared for that too. So, long story short, my dad comes around. My dad came around. We never had to have that conversation again. And when shit like that came up, we were like, no, we were in agreement. The woman's right to choose. Now, rather he was agreeing with me to placate me, or agreeing with me because he finally believed where I was coming from was the right thing to do, it's his own teaching. You can't teach somebody right from wrong and then you don't do right from wrong. You can't teach somebody right from wrong and you believe this but don't believe that. The right thing to do is the right thing to do. Whether you believe it or not, it's a whole other ballgame. But there's nothing wrong with doing the right thing. And I'm sorry. If you don't agree that the woman's right to choose is the right thing, then there's something wrong with you. And if you're a woman, that makes it even worse. Because you and every other woman on the planet will go through the same journey in life with your nether regions. It belongs to you. Your body is not just your vagina. It's everything in and out. It's your brain, it's your boobs, it's your vagina, it's your arms and your legs, and it all belongs to you. No man or woman has the right to tell you what you can and can't do with it. No, they don't have that right. The law is not that damn powerful. The statutory laws are there to prevent young girls from having sex before they need to, and to prevent young men from having sex before they need to. Which is why you need to always ask a girl her age before you try to go in the rage. And then, the second thing on that, if she says no, we have to teach our young boys that when a woman says no, it means no. It doesn't mean yes, try harder. No, it means no. It means give her a hug and get your ass home. Now, I don't want to sound like an asshole about this shit, but if a girl tells you no, it's time to go. Now, see, this is the part where I become an ass, and not by choice. I'm not the kind of guy that if you tell me no, I'm going to want to hang around and cuddle. I'm not going to lie to you. Now, for my crush, yes, because I'm willing to wait for that. But for, like, any other girl, that if we're just, like, hanging out or chilling or whatever, if we're not, like, in a sexual relationship but we're just friends, yeah, I'll chill if you do. But cuddling's not going to happen. Especially if we're just friends and we ain't never looked at each other in a sexual manner. But if we are friends and we done tasted the forbidden fruit, but all she wants to do is cuddle, I'm going to tell her, look, as your friend, I'm going to say no. Because when we cross that line, we've crossed that line. And a man's brain doesn't work like a woman's brain. And I say, now, you may have some men who are on that level with women. And I'm not saying that those men are gay. I'm just saying they own that level with women. But women don't understand that our nether regions don't work with our brains all the goddamn time. And as body contact to body contact, nether regions go into a whole nother level of oops versus you women. Women have more sexual control than men. Because when it comes to sex, we're putting ourselves inside of them. They're receiving a lot more than what they bargained for, what they're taught in school. So it's a whole different level of shit versus a man. Hey, I got one job. Get it in, have a good time, and get it out without getting her pregnant. That's pretty much the gist of it. But when you're friends and you're friends with benefits, or if you're in a situationship, things get really, really out of hand. Which is why when the girl tells you no, it is definitely time to go. Especially because you've already had sex with her before. So you're going to want to have sex with her again just by body contact alone. If she rubs up on you and she doesn't, like, drop a nasty fart, you're like, okay, she keeps pushing up on me, bad things are going to happen. But she doesn't want to have sex, she just wants to grind. That doesn't help men. It may fuck up our shorts, but it doesn't help men. So, no, we can cuddle, but it's got to be, side by side or something. It can't be like spooning. Can't be spooning because my body's going to react. Hers might not, but mine is going to react. No DC. So that's not going to work for me. Now, if she's spooning me from the back, I'll be alright because I'm not going to have Mr. Happy going, down here, down here. Now, if she grabs Mr. Happy, then that's going to be an issue. So, you have to know what you're going to do. And you have to make up your mind. You just have to. It's just the way it is. That being said, I hope you guys understand that the woman's right to choose is the most important thing in a woman's life. And as men, we need to respect that shit. If a woman tells you no, she's going to keep telling you no. And unless she changes her mind about you, like she finally decides, hey, maybe I ought to give this loser a chance, then you may have a fighting chance. And I've been that loser that women have changed their mind on. Hey, everybody gets blessed at least once. Everybody gets one. So, you're going to have to understand how it works. But the most important thing is you're going to have to respect the woman's right to choose. So understand that. If you are a man, you are to teach your sons about the woman's right to choose. If you are a woman, you damn sure need to teach your daughter about the woman's right to choose. And if you are a woman, you need to teach your son about the woman's right to choose. Because if you don't, your son could wind up in a lot of trouble. But you also need to teach your daughters to not lie about things like rape. Because when women lie about rape, the real victims of rape are the ones that suffer. And just because you were promiscuous doesn't mean you have the right to not tell someone that you've been raped. Now, people might not believe it because you're promiscuous. Tell anyway. Let the Lord help you on that. And the lesson in that is to, like, slow down on the promiscuity. I didn't say that shit right, but you get the gist. Thank you guys for watching. It's Comfort Havoc number 2. I hope I never, ever, ever have to have this conversation with y'all again. Be seeing you. And I will be doing Throwback Tuesday tonight in one of those suits.